Hey, folks, and welcome to the Daily Ratings Podcast. It's a show where each week we're going to be sitting down with Vincent Daly to get his thoughts on the latest movies he's been watching, both older films and new releases. And don't worry, there's no spoilers. Vince will give a brief review of the movie, share some thoughts, and of course, then rate the film. The daily ratings are always fair, honest, and most importantly, they're consistent. On today's show, Vince will be rating and reviewing. Well, folks, we have the power this week on the podcast. We are jumping back to 1987 for Masters of the Universe, and that is directed by Gary Goddard. And then we're covering it now in theaters, newly released Masters of the Universe, this one directed by Travis Knight. So He-Man himself, Vincent Daly, we'll get him in the room here, hear what he has to say about these films. Stay tuned and enjoy the show. Vincent Daly, across the table. How are we doing?
Thomas, how's it going?
What's going on? It's going okay for me. I'm doing great, in a good mood.
Good.
And we saw Masters of the Universe together.
Yeah.
All 2 hours, 20 minutes. You early bird special. You were in the theater very early.
Yeah.
And I got to the theater
just in the nick of time.
Just in time for the blue numbers to show up on the fake IMAX screen.
Nice.
But I'm glad we went to go see it together.
Yeah,
I'm glad I got the chance to see it as well.
Yeah, I think. We'll obviously get into it, but complicated. We were both walking away of just like, well, it wasn't like amazing, but there were aspects that kind of jumped out, and we were just like, well, there's something there.
It was a real thinker. This movie.
I think I actually have more to say, like word count wise, than like the Hitchcock movies. So,
the first one's rated PG, hour and 46 minutes. The new one was 2 hours and 20.
Yes,
and
a little heavy,
a little meaty. That really sticks with me for some reason.
Oh yeah,
of like. Easy.
I was shaking in my boots.
Just easy, fellas.
Yeah. Easy, Trav.
Travis Knight, we like you.
Trav, come
on. Any opening notes? Anything you want to talk about? Any good trailers you saw since you were sitting there?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. If anything, some trailers that have come out, I've soured on. I let you know about the one, the End of Oak Street one.
Yes.
Of course, from David Gordon Green. Is that his name?
I believe so.
It Follows director. Just like the more I see about the film, there's been 3 trailers cut for that now. I guess 1 teaser,
really?
2 trailers.
Oh, I thought one just came out. Okay, all right.
And they've just slowly drip fed more and more info about it. I'm just like, I'm kind of good, you know.
Well, probably gonna watch it because it's an August release, correct?
Oh yeah, for sure. We'll cover it either way.
Although there was something else in August that looked kind of good, and then I believe Spider-Man is August.
Yes.
So
which feels unreal that that's coming out still.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so much coming out. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're going to get an onslaught of a lot of ads, a lot of commercials, a lot of talky-talk.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, do we jump into it right away?
I think we jump into it. Can I try one I Have the Power? Lean away from the mic.
Yep. Okay.
I have the power! I don't know.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's not bad.
I've been also working on my Skeletor, but the Jared Leto version. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it.
Okay, so let's go. Well, you know what I was thinking about Backrooms last week?
Oh, yeah?
We had a good time, and I wanted to ask you.
It was almost like it was a good movie to actually cover.
Did you have you ever had a Backrooms experience yourself, or any type of dream, or anything that you've you know what I mean?
No. I mean, probably the closest one. We have a mall near us, again, in the the ongoing challenge of not doxing ourselves. But we have a mall near us that is like pretty dead sometimes. I remember like going in very early, like right as it opened up, and there was like this creepy amount of senior citizens just like walking it in a loop. It felt surreal, honestly.
Yeah, that mall had markers on the ground.
Yeah.
Like it was a track and field. For the old timers.
It's like, why adult, senior citizen playground?
Well, the reason
drop the kids off at the mall.
Go to the 2 stores that are still functional.
Yeah,
there.
for real.
But no, it was popping in my head because I'll never forget this dream I had, and I was like, oh, that's my back rooms. I had a nightmare one time, and I usually don't remember my dreams too well.
Sure.
But basically, it was a huge house. And I went to go do an estimate at the house for painting.
Okay.
And every room was a kitchen. And the homeowners wanted all of the kitchen cabinets painted in every room. And it was like a true nightmare.
Wow.
And
that's liminal. That's liminal right there.
It made me wake up. I was like, oh my God, thank God that wasn't real.
That's great. And all cabinets, too. You got to take them off. Take them off the hinges.
Horrible.
Yeah. The worst.
Oh, anyway. Okay, 1987.
Yeah, let's talk about some toys now.
Our boy Dolph is with us here.
Yeah.
I did not get a chance to watch this, but you did say
That's
that
okay.
This was free on Prime.
Yes, free on Prime. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not walking away with a recommendation on this one, those folks. So.
Well, okay, we'll get into it. Masters of the Universe. Take us back to 1987. What was He-Man like?
A big year. I've recently heard 87 being thrown around as like one of the great years in film.
Probably somebody who was a kid in the 80s.
Yeah, probably. We have the distinct dishonor here once again to cover a movie by the Cannon Group. And what do you know? It came out the same year as Superman 4, the last time we touched it, and the first time we touched on the Cannon Group.
Right, because they took over that franchise then.
Yep.
Yeah, tell us again what it is, though.
Yeah, if you haven't listened to that old episode or you're not familiar with the infamy of the Cannon Group, the brief recap here is pretty simple. They were a production company that just made a shocking amount of slop in the 80s. I've heard some arguments that there are different eras of leadership in the company that have some good stuff. I guess there was maybe Jean-Claude Van Damme couple movies that are kind of decent from them, but real bad. And this is on the decline. Though the studio closure wouldn't come until 1994, financial disaster of both Superman 4 and this movie are directly cited as the cause of the downward spiral. So we've covered both sides of the coins now of, the inevitable bankruptcy of Cannon Group. Nothing makes me happier, though, than to just cover such clear-cut trash. I like using my brain sometimes. I like watching trash because it's just like no strings attached.
You love these movies.
I do. I've really come around to it.
I think because
it's a release of sorts.
And I typically don't watch them. I think it's because no matter what, you have to watch the movies.
Yeah.
And turn it off your brain once in a while and be like, somewhat delicious garbage.
Yeah.
Or,
right.
You could just
not even enjoying it. It's just like, okay, it's clear cut. It's bad. You know what I mean? I don't have to I don't have to really think about how I feel about this.
Right. Yeah.
It's so clear cut. But I would say, folks, who could blame the producers on this project, though? Because back from 1982 and 1987, toy IP ran the game. Next to Transformers and G.I. Joe, I don't think you could dream of a bigger toy franchise in the 80s to turn into a blockbuster movie. The cartoon had a whopping 130 episodes. The concept is a mix of sci-fi and fantasy that feels perfect for the big screen in kind of like a pulpy sci-fi way. And maybe most importantly, audiences in 1987 were still looking for the next Star Wars, which the He-Man toy line originally was created as a concept to be a part of. So it's just like, I felt like I was watching this movie. This movie's real bad. I just kept on saying to myself, I couldn't blame him, though. I can't blame him. I put money in this too. Like, are you kidding me?
Oh, it's true.
Man, this is a cash cow. We get a great opening to the film, which I'll introduce way better than our new one. If there's one thing that this movie does better than the new one, is just the opening. At the center of the universe, at the border between light and dark, stands Castle Grayskull. To those who control Grayskull will come the power to become supreme, the power to be almighty, the power to be master of the universe. Really great stuff.
That's good.
I wanted to like this. I've also heard so many fan arguments for this film and support.
Yeah, I bet. By the way, I mean, what a weird corner of the internet that must be. The He-Man Master of the Universe fan group.
Yeah,
we got a taste of it on the theater on Sunday.
We did,
But
and they're out there.
What are they a successful group of people? I mean, I don't know what to.
I don't think successful. I hate to say it.
When you're at Thanksgiving, do you want to keep your kids away from them? Actually, they're probably cool.
I don't know. Maybe toy. It could be some pricey
probably.
He-Man toys out there. In box, maybe.
But anyway, that opening does sound good.
Yeah.
And that's just a good narrator coming in over top?
Yeah. Real hammy, but like good hammy. Master of the Universe 1987 is a sci-fi fantasy epic countless fans of the cartoon were asking for, but unanimously hated on release for many reasons. He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe, is played by Dolph Lundgren, coming right off of Rocky IV, and just about as illiterate as well. His arch enemy, of course, is Skeletor, the evil lord of destruction, played by Frank Langella. Just doing the best he can behind possibly the worst rubber mask I've ever seen in my life. Like it robs him of his performance here. With Skeletor seizing control of Castle Grayskull, he now has the power he craves, but was only able to pull it off because of a portal-opening cosmic key. In desperation, He-Man and friends find a tinkerer named Gwildor that not only made the original key, but has another which teleports them away from the fantasy world we want to see and into a more budget-friendly Southern California setting. The key falls out of their hands, though, and is found by a high schooler couple that thinks it's nothing more than a synthesizer. The girl of that couple is a 23-year-old Courtney Cox. Absolutely.
Boy,
I mean,
that's the one reason to watch the film.
Yeah, let's not go down that road. But little do they know, they will also invite the forces of evil into their suburban lives. Honestly, I mean, like, right down to it, this has my very least favorite trope in movies of all time. And unfortunately, it makes up the beats of the story here. Fish out of water storytelling, jokes, whatever.
You've always hated it.
I've always hated it because it's just the lamest shit you could ever come up with in trying to adapt a story.
The lowest of hanging fruit.
Exactly. Especially when the only thing fans want to see is what they love to come to life on screen. You know what I mean? It hurts in such a big way because it's just like, man, you had one job. You had one job, even if it looked shitty. And there's parts of this movie that really look shitty.
I'm sure.
But, man, it's just real rough. Straight up, put me in the fantasy world I signed up for, damn it. I'm not the least bit interested in any bullshit on Earth. I don't care about seeing a character I like at McDonald's or some dumb attempt at comedy. I'm not messing around. Like, it's the worst. I don't mean to, like, rip into this too much, but, like, it's my very least favorite movie trope.
And then your second least favorite trope is a key, typically.
yeah, multiple keys. This does have two keys. Yeah. I mean, I'll admit that even the Courtney Cox storyline feels cute at times. The concept, like, you know, it's a little funny. It works in a family movie idea, but not in my what's supposed to be a sci-fi fantasy epic. The biggest shame is that the sets from time to time are pretty cool. And if you're like me and you enjoy kind of a pulpy sci-fi camp like Flash Gordon or something like that, or any kind of Conan the Barbarian that this is kind of inspired by, there's some enjoyment you can squeeze out of it, but it's a fraction of the runtime because we are just in California.
Right.
We get Dolph Lundgren in full costume, briskly walking down a pedestrian sidewalk, and it's just like the lamest shit imaginable. Like, if I had to imagine the worst thing ever, it would be it. like, how dare you squander the opportunity here? It's also, I kind of cut a little bit of my notes, but it's funny how much this represents Thor 1, Thor from 2011. Not
really?
Like a great movie. It's actually not rated on the site. That's why it came to mind. I went to look at it. But, like, a lot of the beats are the same as far as, like, starting in Fantasyland, then whisked away. We're trying to get back. You know, it's, yeah, even, like, the jokes and whatnot. Really
Yeah,
bad.
because Thor always kind of tried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Even before Taika Waititi got
yeah,
involved and shit. So, other than my pet peeve, though, this movie just kind of dies of 1,000 cuts. There's just like almost like too many problems to put a number to. It has a super rip-off John Williams soundtrack. Like it sounds like a John Williams soundtrack that gets to a point and then just loops. Like it doesn't finish out. There's a huge amount of lip sync problems. A little bit of a rabbit hole here. This had a lot of production problems. The budget was like half paid by Mattel, half unpaid. The director was under the impression Dolph was going to be overdubbed by a different actor. Dolph's contract said no go. And then he redubbed himself. So Dolph really suffers the most because of this lip sync problems because he's already like not.
It's already a tough hang.
Yeah, this is not like audible sentences, or comprehensible sentences. But yeah, it's a real shame because there are these production problems. You can see them. Probably worst of all, and infamous of this movie, is the final fight is in total darkness. We don't even feel like we're on the set, and it was all because of like production budget issues.
So they just had to keep it dark. Wow.
Yeah.
So isn't that a lot like the last episode of Game of Thrones that people can't stand?
Oh, maybe.
Right? Or that big battle, and it's just like dark and no one can see it?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you not know what I'm talking about?
No, I definitely do.
Oh, okay.
I've never, you know me with TV shows. I've never put enough skin in the game to really see all Game of Thrones through.
No, me neither.
Yeah. For all the hype that I've heard about Skeletor over the years, I'm sorry, his mask, this rubber mask, it sucks.
It looks rough. I was going through
and the lip sync problem affects him then too.
Right, of course.
And it's like, oh man, I'll throw it out there for any like really hardcore fans of this movie. His final transformation, pretty dope, but it's one scene among like a robbed performance. Frank's given it some juice, and it's not there. There's a Burger King ad placement. There's a detective character that's just like the worst. He's constantly licking his gums like he just did a line in the back. Like, it's like that's what I mean. Like Death by a Thousand Cuts is this movie. It's just like any piece that you feel like you're kind of settling in on. There's something to remind you of just like, wow,
how shitty this is.
This is bad. Like I'm rooting for it. Folks, this was the last film, and second film actually, but last film directed by Gary Goddard, before going on to helm such classics as Jurassic Park, The Ride, pre-show video. and hold on, Hershey Park's really big 3D show.
I mean, that's where you go, I guess.
Sorry, Gary. Sorry. No, you know what I mean? Sometimes we don't always climb up the ladder in our career.
Of directors.
Yeah. Sometimes we fall down the ladder in our career. Honestly, I think that says everything you need to know. The only thing that is left out of that, the tragedy of this episode, was finding out that this movie was not so bad it's good and probably should never see the light of day again. We're going to go ahead and give Masters of the Universe 1987 a 21.
Ooh, a 21. I was hoping for the teens.
Yeah.
I was hoping for the teens.
Yeah, well, oddly enough, it was in the 30s for a while because it kind of is acceptable as like an 80s, early 90s kind of family movie.
Right.
Because it's so focused on Courtney Cox and like her boyfriend and shit.
Okay.
But I mean, there's too many. When I was writing my notes, I was just like, well, there's nothing good I have to say. Right. So
it doesn't matter how beautiful Courtney Cox is.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a 21%.
Right.
Masters of the Universe from 1987. I looked up, I just won a perplexity, and I was just like, what is the peak year for He-Man?
Yeah.
It said, well, give me a range of 83 and 85, and I said, pick 1 year. It's saying 83.
Okay.
Whatever that means. I don't know what that means.
I think there is like a direct-to-video or something movie off the cartoon. Maybe that's better. I don't know.
So the cartoon, by the way, see, this missed us.
Yes,
we were
totally.
90s kids. We just not. I mean, they was still around.
I guess,
like,
yeah.
He-Man was still a thing.
Right.
But like, I don't think I've watched 1 minute, sat down to watch 1 minute of content of the He-Man cartoon.
I would agree. My knowledge is kind of off of like the research for this episode,
right?
And then just memes, Skeletor memes and shit like that.
And it was show that came first, then all the Mattel stuff, or were they action figures first?
Yeah, toy line first. I mean, that's kind of how it was done with G.I. Joe and Transformers. That they were essentially advertising mechanisms for their toy line.
Yeah.
Because toys were king,
I mean, what is success?
And that's in the fallout of
thing.
Star Wars, ultimately.
Right.
Merchandising was king.
Right, of course, yeah. Very interesting. Wow. Yeah. I would say that Well, I'll save it for the end of the other one. Listen, folks, if you enjoy the daily ratings as much as Vin did not enjoy 1987 Master of the Universe, just remember that we are completely listener supported here. We're not going to take a bunch of ad breaks throughout the podcast, and we're not going to have like Patreon where we force you to pay a certain amount of money a month to get extra content. Everything that Vin and I have, we offer it to everybody. So it's technically free, kind of, because it's there. But remember, a lot of time, a lot of work, a lot of effort goes into this, along with some money and monthly costs and yearly costs go in to keep the daily ratings going. So just keep that in mind. If you listen to other podcasts and they're constantly doing ad breaks and they're the insert ads that all of a sudden mid-sentence you're shot with an ad break.
On YouTube, the double ad, the double unskippable ad.
Well, the
now.
YouTube is truly trash.
Yeah.
We don't have any of that. We want it to be a clean product, and we want to be value for value. And all that means is, are you finding what we're doing here at the Daily Ratings valuable? Or are you checking out the website, you listening to the podcast, whether it be once in a while or every single week? We look at that as value in your pocket, so can you send us value back in our pocket? And it can be as big or small as you want to send in. So we're completely supported by your monetary support through your donations. Please do stop by thedailyratings.com and head to the donations page. Everything is laid out there for you. We have some set donations, but then there's the big value for value button there. So when you click that, like I said, big or small. Is it a cup of coffee? Even if it's a cup of coffee a year, send us in $5-10 a year. It really does go a long way for us. We, of course, appreciate it, but then also, like I said, we do have some up costs here. And then most importantly, when you do donate in, we consider you an actual legitimate producer of the daily ratings. Because just like in Hollywood, when you financially support a project, you're a producer of the project. So that's how we're doing it here. When you become a producer, you can send in a note. We'll read it right here in this segment. And your note can consist of whatever you want, whether it be questions, comments, critiques, love, hate, anything you want to say, anything you want to ask. We want to hear from you in the producer note. So please, when you send your donation in, send us an email at tom.vin@thedailyratings.com. That's the email address, and would love to hear from you. So just keep that in mind. We're here every single week. I've got the new show coming on Tuesday. It does take a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort. So if you're appreciating it, if you could, just stop by that donations page and become a producer. Support us a bit. We are building a daily ratings family here, and as this continues to catch on, and as this continues to grow, we think this segment is really going to kind of flourish into something, especially once when we get more and more producers. Nobody wants to be left out. And so don't be left out. Become a producer of the Daily Ratings. Again, head to thedailyratings.com, go to that donations page. All right, Mr. Daly. Like I said, we went to go see. I always consider these fan events. Sometimes they are called fan events.
Yeah, right.
But it is like the first showing that you can go see on a Thursday night.
Oh my God! I just forgot. I got a little gift.
I refuse to take it.
I got one, but I forgot it. I left it in the theater.
You left it in the theater.
Oh my! I literally just remembered it now.
It was a mini. Was it a metal poster?
Yeah, I think it was like a little tin poster.
I mean, that's not bad.
You show up, obviously not with it. I immediately lean over. I was like,
yeah, I shot it down. Even the guy was just like, "Do you want one of these?" And I laughed. I was like, "No, man, I'm good." By the skin of my teeth, I made it there. And,
you really did.
Thank God for long previews sometimes. That's all I got to say.
Flexible.
But, okay, all right. Let's jump in. You set it up. We will take this one back and forth. Absolutely.
Well, forgive me, Tom. I got to start with my fan pitch. I've told you this already. You've heard this a couple times now.
Have I?
I think so.
Okay.
Maybe not.
Okay.
But I need to pitch my fan idea for what this movie should have been. As we know, this was directed by Travis Knight of Leica Studios, some of the greatest stop-motion animators still around. You know what I mean? Stop-motion animation is not really like flourishing anymore.
Well, we got one coming later this year.
Yep.
From Travis Knight. Absolutely.
This isn't the first time Knight stepped out of that studio. 2018's Bumblebee is his second movie.
Yep.
I know that's a beef with you.
It's a little tough.
Maybe he needs a revise on the scores, but besides the point. But for the most part, he's still in that stop-motion world, and Wildwood is the next thing coming out. He's directing that. That's proper Leica Studio.
Yeah.
As we know, He-Man was a toy line first, and if Mattel was smart, they would lean into that fact. And it's a little silly by nature, which, with a sharp writing team, you could pull off the exact tongue-in-cheek tone Barbie was such a hit with. So honestly, I mean, it's besides the fact, but my dream project for this was simple. Why not pull a Lego movie? Use the classic toy figures in stop motion. I just think that would be so good. It would be such an exciting film to watch. Like, it would be like, it would lean into the silliness. Instead of this, like, money pit blockbuster we get, you know, you lean into the skill set of Travis Knight. You lean into his team. Like, man.
It would probably be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And not only that, when it's stop motion, you can kind of let some things go. Because things like the comedy would hit more in some ways.
Sure.
Especially what they're going for in this one.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I love it, Vin. I love it. I mean, I would do a cross toy platform, and I would do Lego.
I don't need a yes man, Tom.
No, I'm fine.
I think this is a good idea, and I'm mad that it didn't happen.
I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I agree. I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you completely. I do think would have been better. This does. No one was asking for this film, which is the biggest problem.
Yep.
So at least
For real.
if you did stop motion, it would add a certain specialness to it, something in the sauce. I would do a joint project, almost like Nintendo and
Illumination.
Yes, work together. What if you did Lego Masters of the Universe?
Oh, maybe. I mean, Lego does
Lego
that
Batman.
all the time.
Oh,
all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, just a thought. But no, your thing is great. I mean,
it's just
the toys exist.
The idea of like, why are because Barbie did that essentially, was just like there was an aspect like her house and whatnot. There was an approach to say like, oh, these are toys. There's maybe a sprinkle of that here. I just feel like if they leaned into that just a little bit, there would have been some magic here, more so than, just another blockbuster that's going to get forgotten in a week,
For sure.
Yeah. But I have to admit, folks, what we got here was not outright terrible. If anything, I think a lot of fans will be really happy with this movie if we haven't lost them on the listing already by shitting on 87. Even though, I think this is going to really do it for the fans, like hardcore fans of He-Man, even though there's more than a few missed swings that you just can't ignore watching the movie. Masters of the Universe 2026 is super campy, tongue-in-cheek, but above all else, really trying to be a sci-fi fantasy epic that aims to introduce new fans to the franchise as well as pay a lot of fan service. One of the more glaring issues that we opened the episode with, I had kind of going into this, was that meaty 2 hour and 20-minute runtime. But I think once you understand that this is a top to bottom origin story for He-Man, that is probably meant as a hook, for, if successful, to leverage into something, surge into a series, yada yada. I think it makes sense why it is the runtime. I don't know if it justifies it, but, it makes sense.
Right. It does it wants to tell a long story.
Right.
We definitely go far and cover some years, so but it's bold, they're asking the audience for a lot in a way.
Right. Boldly bad. No. In the land of Eternia, magic and myth come to life as all the power in the universe surges into a single location, Castle Grayskull. Within the fortress, the all-knowing sorceress protects the Sword of Power, which has been passed down through generations. Young Prince Adam is the latest in the bloodline, but also the smallest, having everything to prove to his father that he's worthy. Ready or not, the evil warlock Skeletor invades the capital, causing Adam to flee with the sword to Earth. Oh, great. When I saw we were going back to Earth, I was just like, did we not learn our lesson? For a 15-year time jump where he will grow up to be nothing like anyone expected. Still far from prepared, however, he is thankfully pulled back into Eternia to take back his home, stripped of its glory by Skeletor's vile machinations, which includes the Lord of Destruction's plan to take the sword after all this time. I would say, how do we start this? The aspect of this movie that is good sometimes and bad most of the times, really, I was conflicted. We walked out of the theater, I was like, I have thoughts. This is not just
it's true. It's true. It was there was aspects that I was enjoying it, I was liking it. Because we both walked out being like, okay, we watched it, and there were nuggets of things that kept you there.
Yeah.
There really were.
That were unique, that were trying.
Short-lived.
Short, right. And then it was kind of 3-1, always surrounded by some bad nuggets.
Right.
I would say, besides these complicated thoughts, though, it's something that I didn't expect. I expected this to be almost like more deserved of a 50 type of movie than I've ever come across. 50 on the dot, where it's just kind of like, all right, watch it, if you want. Which, oddly enough, that was kind of the case with Mando. But this movie had a lot of moments that didn't work at all. Mostly in the comedy, but no joke, occasionally would knock it out of the park and nail exactly what it was aiming for, what it was going for. I feel like these good moments come mostly from really flashy scenes where this toy line from the 80s is treated with the gravity that fans have been dying for all these years. As silly as characters like Mecha-Neck or Ram Man might be in that they are one-note action figures for children, still are given really cool spotlight moments to show off why one of these guys might be someone's favorite personal toy from back in the day. The action is fun and stylish. All of He-Man's transformation scenes are awesome, and if anything, much how like Travis Knight's last movie somehow got some aspects of the Transformers formula right that Michael Bay could never do, there is a respect and an attempt to do justice to the material, no matter how childish it may seem. You know what I mean? There's an effort here.
Okay, yep. Yeah, I agree. No, I agree. And we both walked out saying, like, oh, we can at least see that Travis Knight was trying.
Yes.
And even when if he's not hitting, it's nice to see the effort, of trying to do something different. I think you're walking away a little bit hotter than me on this. Just because, like, even you said, the introduction of these toys that are now, these characters, really cool
Sorry, I'll pump the brake.
You did say really cool scenes.
No, yeah, fair. I guess
I thought
more
that was
so
the
just
lamer part of the movie.
That's fair. Maybe not really cool. But these spotlight moments, it feels like every side character, no matter how silly or maybe even like gonna be the butt of the joke, instead got a moment they were just like, they had their moment.
They had
a
their moment.
spotlight.
And to me, I found it to be cheesy, not great. Sure. Now, I will agree with you in action areas of some other areas. But these guys, I could understand, though, if you're a fan, this is what you want of the He-Man whatever.
Right. And saying like a butt of the joke, some of these characters are definitely the butt of the joke because there's a lot of comedy swings. This movie's almost constantly swinging for jokes and just like not landing.
Dumb jokes, that's why. Yeah. I mean, my main thing to you afterwards was I enjoy movies being aware of themselves. When it's like this, I'm like, please be aware of yourself of what you really are.
Right.
The problem is they took that and then just made the dumbest, hey, we know what we are here jokes.
Yeah.
And that's like, there's just a really fine balance of that.
Yeah.
Of please don't take yourself too seriously, but hey, don't be so dumb. Because then it's like these jokes are falling on the floor. It's just not good enough.
That's true. And it swings way too often. The volume of jokes is like too much. But that's at least like when I said earlier, like I think fans are going to be happy with this because whether Travis Knight is a fan or not, he's attempting to do justice to this. He's attempting to treat these 80s action toys with some gravity, and that's refreshing.
Do we know if he was a fan or not? I would almost hope that he was.
I don't know. I saw a couple interviews with him. He doesn't look like how I remember him looking like, and I stopped watching for that reason. That's just a real talk. Now, unfortunately, for every peak we get, no matter how big or how small, the majority of the runtime is made up of valleys, being either cookie-cutter blockbuster garbage or having, once again, comedy that falls on its face a surprising amount because it's always kind of trying to make jokes.
Yeah.
The movie has some annoying advertisement placements in it. I was definitely dreading how long Earth segments would go on for every second it was on screen, but for the real issue, the amount of times it really tries to be funny, it's 50-50 straight up on if the jokes land at all.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's almost being too kind.
Yeah. And I think that's what surprised me. We got claps in our theater.
At the end.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Well, the thing is, like, didn't the very last joke about his name at the end fall flat in the theater?
To me, it fell flat.
It was like, I kind of felt like an air of just like, ooh, that.
It was cheesy. I thought this was supposed to be cool.
Yeah.
Like, give us something cool. But sure enough, well, let me The vast majority, I feel like, of the films that Vin and I watch, as soon as the credits roll, we usually look at each other and we're like, all right, let's go. It's just like usually there's some type of eye roll. And so this movie ended and we kind of had that. And sure enough, because we saw the Thursday night showing, opening showing, the fans were clapping. Like, not a huge ovation, but there was clapping. And I swear one guy in the back went, yeah. And I mean, it took my breath away. And it made me just want to be like, oh, we got to save our comments for when we leave.
They cannot overhear us.
People got to bust us.
They could not overhear us. We probably got side eyes not waiting for a post-credit scene. You know what I mean?
A bunch of He-Man fans thinking they're going to,
they have the power.
They're going to corner us.
But yeah, I just...
Back to your jokes being 50-50. That's where that started.
Yeah.
50-50 for sure, and again, being kind. Yeah.
And it's just like, even to the very last joke of it, it almost felt like there was crickets or something. You know?
It's like every single character, actually. Every character is trying it. We don't really have a straight-laced character. They try with Allison Brie. Yeah. Which, I just think was a huge miscast.
Interesting.
I actually am okay with somewhat of the casting, even the main guy, who I'm not the biggest fan of.
Ooh, I'm about to tear into him.
And you totally can, but to me, Allison Brie seriously was like a miscast. Her voice was a miscast. I don't think, like, she didn't fit.
Diehard Evelyn fan.
Melissa Finn. Who?
Evelyn is the character.
Oh. I don't know, you know what I mean? 90s kid over here. But we didn't even have one character to really tether ourselves. Because the daughter, I would say, is trying to be the most serious or the most competent.
Right.
She's still cracking jokes or cutting things. The problem is, we need a little bit of seriousness sometimes. Because when you're cutting it constantly, it's like, all right, well, do I care then about any of this? You know?
Yeah. And it's that blockbuster garbage. It's trying to be Guardians of the Galaxy. It's trying to be Marvel. It's trying to be, probably...
all of them.
I get a lot of the most recent Dungeons and Dragons type of vibe from it. I feel like this is kind of using that playbook as well. So yeah, it's just
or Mortal Kombat, which we watched a couple weeks ago.
It's so true.
Yeah,
so true. Most of the dialogue in this just outright didn't work for me, and I think unfortunately the worst being He-Man himself, played by Nicholas Galitzine. Yep. The decision to make him the center of all the punchlines really wore me down. Like, I was just, like, done with him. To the point that I just, like, never want to see this dude act again. Like...
Wait, let me make sure he's not from Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Shoot a Keystone Cutie down. I was even, like, to the point of, like, looking at his lip. I was just, like, getting just pissed off.
Yeah, he didn't... Listen, he can get buff and whatever because he had the hair. It could kind of look like a character, but he wasn't really selling things too well.
Yeah,
even his acting sometimes was very what's the word? It's just not advanced. I don't know. His acting was just too generic and didn't really seem A-rate.
Yeah, absolutely. I also took note of, like, no one can cry in this movie. I noted at first of just like when we have again kind of a ramp up of as he's a child, so there's unfortunately some kid acting rolled into this as well. But no one can cry in this movie.
No.
Like, no one. And it's like, it kind of became like a really big, like, sticking point for me. But either way, this acting, the dialogue, the comedy, unfortunately, it is all what doesn't work. And I feel like if there's any hope of them pushing the same cast into sequels or spinoffs or anything like that, this has really shot it for me.
And listen, I don't think it's going to be doing that well.
Yeah. There are probably like less than 3 aspects of the 1987 version I would actually call good, but this performance oddly made me miss kind of just the earnestness of He-Man in that, where it's just like he's kind of a dumb idiot, but he's certainly like honorable and can kick some fucking ass.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Conan Barbarian vibes to it. I don't think it would be too out of place to have He-Man. Like, instead of him being the center of every joke, we always loop back to He-Man. I don't think it would be out of place if he did more of like like a Drax thing from Guardians, where it's like he maybe doesn't get the joke. He still plays into the comedy, but he's macho. He's one note. You know what I mean?
I think you're thinking about it too much. I just think the comedy beats could have been a little bit better, maybe a little bit more spread out and less overall.
True.
That's all.
True. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
Swings way too much.
Yeah.
So.
And get a better actor in there that could sell it. English, by the way.
Definitely not a Keystone Cutie. He's actually on the Keystone Cutie enemy list.
Yeah. Turncoat.
Yeah, he's the turncoat. Well, who did we not mention yet?
Wait, before we get to him.
Okay, yeah.
Because I want to get to.
Who's left off even the poster of this movie?
I want to talk about Idris Elba.
Okay, fair.
Okay.
He plays Man-at-Arms.
Like most of these movies, these characters look absolutely ridiculous. And I'm watching Idris Elba. It's like, oh my god, it's just like the worst Halloween costume ever. He looks ridiculous. What happened to Idris Elba? Because he is a good actor. I'm pretty sure still.
Yeah,
but it's been a tough go.
It has been.
Anyway, I mean, he almost starts out good, and he gets like some good action scenes because some of the action is good in the film.
Yes,
when it matches with music, they do a very good John Wicky type. Let's get the right song. Yep. Let's match some beats when people are punching or hitting.
Camera's super stylized as well.
To me, it was something slightly different than what we normally get, and it was better than, again, just me. I just automatically comparing to Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Because it's the same type of stuff. People are dressed up, and then there's fights here or there.
Sure. Cosplay kung fu.
But even Idris Elba, then he takes this ridiculous turn, then he kind of comes back, and it's just like, okay, you can't take him seriously now.
Right, yeah, he has to do jokes as well.
And yet I'm still, at least I could tether myself to a big actor that I know, since you don't really know much. You know what I mean?
Yep.
He's there, I guess.
It's
I don't even know if that's an Idris Elba review, but I guess that's all I have to say about it.
Well, I didn't think that was it, but
that's my final thing. He was there.
He was there. I'm with you that he was my tether as well because he is the most notable actor,
right?
You know, and you know they're kind of setting up an arc for him that kind of goes somewhere.
I thought they were going to have a different arc in the beginning of the film.
Right.
And then they take the other arc, and it's like, oh, I mean, we're just doing this. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Shallow
for sure.
But, okay. All right.
Everything emotionally in this was shallow, and I think that's what limits it as well.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to actually take it seriously.
Yeah.
By the way, second week I'm sorry, I'm not going to let you go yet on it.
No, yeah, go.
It's our second week that we have to mention Firefly and Serenity, but Inara Sarah, right?
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, she's the main. She's the
Yes,
hawk.
the concubine. Yeah. Yep.
Whatever the character's name is.
Yeah.
Right, the hawk.
No, she's.
Well, she's a hawk.
She's the working girl on the ship.
The sorceress.
Yes.
The sorceress who
yes,
turns into
the sorceress
bird.
in this.
It's in Serenity, yes.
Yeah. I knew I recognized her.
And then Kristen Wiig does do the robot. My girl. My girl, Kristen Wiig.
Because we were asking that after the theater.
Correct.
It's like, who's the robot?
Yep.
Yeah. Well.
Okay, go. Fly. Go.
I'm literally rubbing the table in anticipation.
Well, your boy. You're excited.
Not my boy. There's someone we've left out. And they might have left them out of the posters and the press.
Yes, literally.
And, and we had some beef, over the years. But it's Jared Leto as Skeletor. Among the outcry of He-Man fans over the years is that it's never been badass enough. It's never been. Even we posted a video on the trailer breakdown of this, or one of our hype videos.
Yeah. And
we got a comment on one of them that was just like, yeah, but he's not he's like a pussy, or he's not muscly enough. And I was just like, what do you need? Like, what are you talking about?
He's got an 8-pack or whatever.
Yeah, it's right, exactly. This even rolls to the most recent series created by Kevin Smith. And there's just again, the He-Man fans, it's like nothing can please them, So I'm hoping this pleases them. If there is any character in the show, in the cartoon, throughout all of He-Man that represents that how this franchise is probably equal parts silly and badass at the same time, it's Skeletor. And boy, oh boy. Folks, I'm going to repeat something I haven't said since our House of Gucci review several years ago. Against all odds, Jared Leto was the best part in this.
Jared Leto was absolutely. I second that, sir. Jared Leto was the best part. The funniest thing about it is you have no idea it's Jared Leto.
Yeah,
Doesn't
true.
sound anything like
Right,
him.
it sounds like a bad Dungeon Master
It's
evil
Skeletor.
voice.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is the best part of this movie.
It's unreal. He's so cartoonishly evil. He just absolutely won me over. They make him laugh like the show. Like he laughs too much, and it's kind of a joke in itself, but it works. He's not doing like the high-pitched Skeletor voice, of course, but they are making him silly, as cartoonishly evil as he might be. Like, you know, he has like decaying lightning, you know? It somehow works. His design, I thought, was awesome. He has these like laser pinned eyes. They like, man, it's like reflecting on like different things. It's awesome. And he has just, as a villain, zero reason to be evil. You know, we are in the era of like, if you're gonna put a villain on screen in one of these type of movies, good or what's considered good writing is, you know, giving them a reason.
Like a Thor,
Thanos.
like Thor, right.
Yeah, you always get Thanos wrong.
But that
Purple guy.
that guy, he has purpose though.
Yes. There's you know, you can not empathize, but you're like, okay, that's almost a rational conclusion of where he's going.
Yeah,
of why,
which almost makes it more
villainous.
daunting because he has a purpose. He has a drive in him to be. It is a good part of this movie. He's just the villain to be the villain.
Yes, Skeletor here has none of that.
Right.
He's just evil for evil's sake, and it was so refreshing to see that because he's as one of the characters says in this, he has a skull for a head. You know what I mean? There's no saving him.
Right.
You know? There's no redemption of this character.
And what I have to say about sometimes that's done really great. For me, it's still a 50-50 thing. Even when like the guy is just like, why is he like that? And she just goes, because he's bad.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And then he goes, that just can't be it. And she goes, he has a skull for a face. But even that, the way it's done fell flat.
Yeah.
Because I do like that
the
energy.
swing of that.
But I like the energy of just like, oh, he's the bad guy. Like we cast him as the bad guy. That's how Mattel made him.
Yeah.
I do like that playing, but man, like, can we sell it better?
Yeah.
And sometimes Skeletor does sell it.
He does. Jared Leto sells Skeletor. I can't believe I'm saying it. And listen, for better or worse, there is a very unexpected couple of scenes towards the end that I still don't know how I feel about. I snapped my head 90 degrees toward Tom with my jaw on the floor when I saw these scenes. I would not dare spoil them for you if there's any chance that you actually think you're going to like this movie. These were like ballsy scenes that they did with Skeletor.
Kind of hits. Sometimes hard to hear Skeletor, by the way. Sometimes tough to make out the words for me.
Okay, word.
But other than that those things hit. I could have used 2 more.
Yes, I kind of wanted them to go further with it too. It's wild, but we can't talk about it because it is it's like the last
unexpected,
scenes, but very, very interesting. And Jared Leto, I guess I'll see you in the next one. I'll see if you save or sink.
Yeah, we'll see you in another 231 episodes, seeing as House of Gucci was episode 11.
Oh, right. We'll see him being good in that cycle.
Yes.
There's a loop. There's a calendar of good Jared Leto performances. Overall, folks, was this good? Not really. I'm beaten into submission with this movie. Ups and downs. I think it's mostly not good, but like I said, it clearly gives 2 shits about trying to be something at all. And again, finally just do justice to the idea of a He-Man movie. With me being a bit of a fanboy of our director, I'm at least leaning towards a positive score on this, and maybe once it hits streaming, you can at least just check out the Skeletor scenes by skipping forward. We're going to go ahead and give Masters of the Universe 2026 a 55.
Okay, a 55. I really enjoy this score. I don't even know how it could have been better. It's a Masters of the Universe film.
Probably deserves to be worse.
No, I know, because I'm kind of there with you. Honestly, I enjoyed this more than Mando.
Yes.
I enjoyed this more than Mortal Kombat.
I agree.
If you're giving that a 55, I can be A-okay with that.
Yep.
And
there's the slightest inkling that I might put this on, if it's free on something.
Right. And then even like the HR character, very, very funny. His boss.
Yep.
Like funny.
Yep.
But as you said, a roller coaster, the ups and downs, the hills and valleys.
Wild.
It's like driving through the Pennsylvania Appalachian Mountains.
Yeah.
I mean, whoa.
Gotta get that Keystone plug.
I mean, I guess, listen, it was conversation starting, I guess,
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I had a movie not to be like, just like, oh, it's bad, don't see it. You know what I mean?
Right.
There was something that I had thoughts
Being
on.
attempted.
I had a lot of thoughts on this, actually.
Oh, my God. And if it says it all at the end. So, for instance, we went to go see Mando, packed theater.
Yeah.
No clapping at the end.
Good point.
We watched Masters of the Universe, clapping at the end.
Guy behind me said, it was good.
Oh, did you overhear that?
Yeah. He was like, this is good.
Yeah, people. So that's something. Again, these Masters of the Universe fans. Do they call themselves Master of the Universe fans?
Oh, I don't know that
or
deep.
like
I don't know that deep.
the He-Men, maybe. But it's a thing, right? It is a thing. They lurk around. I just feel like they really keep it quiet.
Well, I mean, I think it's also like corners of the internet. If you're not there, you're not there.
But even walking the streets, like people wear anime shirts. People, you know what I mean?
Don't wear He-Man.
Yeah, there's still card shops. People playing Magic the Gathering.
Sure.
These guys
are
just playing with action figures in the basement, I think. Much
just
love.
the same button worn down of He-Man swinging the sword again and again.
Much love to all you He-Men out there. Because
Yeah,
really,
I always hate when you say they.
I used to be.
You said that with anime fans. You're like, they.
Yeah, I know you get so offended.
It's accusatory.
I have my own stuff, and you could say they.
Yeah.
It's not accusatory. It's if you're one of those people. There's multiple of you. That's they. That's them. That's what I mean. It's just funny that there's just such a discreet group, a bunch there. But
maybe they all died off.
well, okay, we'll see. I hope this, and I have no ill will towards the box office for this. It would be cool if it did well.
Right.
But Spielberg's coming next week. I don't think it will be.
I know, it's going to get kicked. And it has the odd competition of Obsession and Backrooms to compete with.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the same people are going to those movies-ish.
Yeah.
But, okay, all right. Well, there you go. Masters of the Universe, 26 with a 55%. So
A doozy.
A doozy indeed. All right, Vin. Anything to touch on with these? What's going on next week?
Next
roll
week's
credits?
big week.
Yeah, big week.
I think summer's finally here. We are doing Disclosure Day and a whole Spielberg UFO-themed episode. So we'll be doing Close Encounters of the Third Kind from 1997. E.T.
77.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, thank you. This is 1977. E.T. from 1982.
No idea.
Gotta admit, never seen E.T.
Ooh.
Yeah, gotta admit.
Wow.
Sorry if that loses me some cred.
Okay.
And War of the Worlds with Running Tom Cruise from 2005. Creepy movie. I used to be scared of that movie.
I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to return to all of these.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen all of E.T., to be honest about it.
Right.
Because I've never had interest in E.T.
Yeah.
My entire life. Never
and it's
have I
something
sat
you
down
just
and
kind of
wanted to watch.
absorb through the culture a little bit.
Absolutely.
It's like, I think I've seen that.
You kind of know the memes. You've seen the scenes, even if you haven't seen the scenes.
Exactly.
So, unbelievably excited for Disclosure Day next week. I mean, really quite pumped.
Yeah.
We covered the Fabelmans, but it was still early on in the podcast, and we kind of just did that movie, and that's it.
Good point.
The fact that we're hitting some Spielberg next week, it's very exciting. It's going to be a longer episode, folks, so just have a blast with us. It will be a great time breaking down some Spielberg films. But for tonight, Vin, always a pleasure, always a blast. Thank you for the notes. Thank you for your reviews here this evening. And folks at home, we'll run it down one more time. It's Masters of the Universe from 87 with a 21, and Masters of the Universe from 26 with a 55%. It's always a blast, folks. I'll be back here on Tuesday for the new show, and next Thursday with Spielberg, we'll be sitting back here with Vincent Daly on the Daily Ratings Podcast. And hey, if you enjoyed the podcast, if you would, give us a good rating or get the word out and tell a friend about us. And just a reminder that the Daily Ratings is completely producer-supported. We want to stay away from advertising, and we don't want to have any paywalls or tier structures or subscriptions. It's all just value for value. So, are you finding value in what we're doing here at the Daily Ratings? Then become a producer and donate whatever amount of value that is. Just go to the donations tab on thedailyratings.com, and while you're there, be sure to check out the massive amount of films that Vince has rated. So thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you next time on the Daily Ratings Podcast.